Welcome to the 10-12, actually, Essential Holy Nights here. Here is Aditya Novotny. That was a pattern interrupt. We are on the 3rd of March, the power of the 3, and the task is to continue designing, creating, and manifesting your year using ancient secret rituals. On the 1st of March, meteorologically, spring starts in the northern hemisphere, and also many flowers start to blossom. This is a time when we can open our hearts, go into visibility. We have done the root growth in January. We have strengthened our foundation. We have strengthened our roots to the heavens, our spiritual roots, as well as our connection with our inner pilot, our inner guidance, and now it is time to go out. March is the time to go out into visibility, and by 20th of March, 21st of March, Sun enters into Aries, and Aries, the sign, stands under the influence of Mars, and this gives us ample action power. So these are the two main tasks of the month. Open your heart, go into visibility, and come 20th, 21st of March, go into final action. I hope you have done things so far as well, but now comes the time to go into decisive action. The golden question of the month that I recommend you for the month of March is: how do I feel my heart the strongest in this very moment? How do I feel my heart the strongest in this very moment? How do I feel my heart the strongest now? Please ask yourself this question time and time again, because this particular March of the year 2023 will be a quite turbulent and powerful month. So it is important you keep the connection to your heart, you keep the connection to your inner guidance. So keep asking yourself, how do I feel my heart the strongest at this very moment? How do I feel my heart the strongest at this moment? How do I feel my heart the strongest right now? This is the question of the month, and the oils help you with this. We start in the mornings with jasmine and rose. We use during the day joy, the oil blend, and in the evening we use geranium and Ylang Ylang. But before we come to that, I would like to give you a view on what is awaiting us, because it is a very special March, and some people have called it an epoch changing month. An epoch changing month. We have two particular dates that are extremely strong: 7th of March and 23rd of March. And this is 7th of March when Saturn enters Pisces, and 23rd of March when Pluto enters Aquarius. And before I do anything else, before I tell you about the festival days, the special celebration days of the month of March, as they have been used for centuries and millennia, I would like to give you an update on the cosmic influences in March 2023. It starts on the 2nd of March. Time from 1st to 3rd of March, we have the conjunction of Venus and Jupiter in Aries. Aries means power, Venus means love, and Jupiter means luck. So there will be strength, there will be a very strong and positive love, and you will have moments of real happiness. If you manage to stay in the heart, that is, because at the same time we have a conjunction of Mercury and Saturn. Mercury is the planet of the thoughts, of thinking, as well as of communication and of trade and of traveling. But the main meaning of Mercury is thoughts, and Saturn conjuncts with Mercury, and Saturn is the discipliner. Saturn takes us to responsibility. Saturn makes us small, reduces us. He's like the twin brother of Jupiter. Jupiter is the guru, according also to Indian Vedic astrology, and Saturn is the guru. But two different aspects of the guru. Jupiter is the beneficial, the compassionate, the blessingful one, whereas Saturn, Rani as he is called in Sanskrit, is the discipliner, is the one who examines you, is the one who takes you to responsibility, and also the one who tests you. Have you overcome your weaknesses? So at the same time as we have Venus-Jupiter conjunction in Aries, and we could experience strong love and lucky moments, we have this Mercury-Saturn conjunction, and that can mean critical thoughts, negative thoughts, and depressive thoughts. So please, in the time from 1st to 3rd of March, watch out to be in the heart and watch out not to be too much in the mind. 6th of March, we come into a sextile of Sun and Uranus. Sun is the giver of all life. The Sun represents also the soul in us. The soul is like the sun inside the human being. And Uranus is the planet of newness. Uranus is the planet of changes, the planet of new developments. So on the 6th of March, Sun-Uranus sextile, there can be surprising developments, surprising changes, and new things starting. What I have told you so far is only the preparation. Now, on 7th of March, we have full moon in Virgo. And as you know, Virgo, we talk about Virgo and the clear quality, the detailed quality, the precise quality of Virgo in our September holy nights. And the oil that I recommend you is clarity. So this full moon can bring you a lot of clarity in your thoughts. Be very precise, look at things, and that will be of a big help, because exactly on the same day, on 7th of March, we have the first monumental event of 2 in the month of March. Saturn enters into Pisces. Pisces is the spiritual sign. It's the most spiritual sign. It deals with the soul, it deals with inner secrets, it deals with the secrets of life. Saturn, as I told you, takes you to responsibility, disciplines you. However, Saturn is not as harsh in Pisces as it is in other signs. Where does Saturn come from? It comes from Aquarius. And actually, since March 2020, Saturn has been in Aquarius. I repeat, since March 2020, Saturn has been in Aquarius. And you may remember March 22, what started there worldwide. As I told you, Saturn reduces, Saturn examines, Saturn can take away our freedom, because entering into Aquarius, and Aquarius is the sign of freedom, freedom of thoughts, but also outer freedom. Remember what started in March 2020. Outer freedom was taken away, and also freedom of thought was taken away, because there was a lot of one-sided information in most media. And the alternative media gave also very one-sided, contrary information. What was the truth in this time when Saturn was in Aquarius, the time from March 2020 to March 2023? We will find out now in this coming period. Because Pisces is not only the most spiritual sign. It is also of the subconscious, of the unconscious. And when Saturn enters now into Pisces, it will bring many things to the fore that have been hidden. So many of the ongoings in the time of March 2020 to March 2023 will now be revealed. And to give you an exact overview, first Saturn was in Aquarius from March 2020 to July 2020. Then it became retrograde and was again in Capricorn, the earth sign. And Capricorn is for power. Capricorn is to do with all the lobbies, all the governments, all the secret influencers and power holders. And then it went again, coming out of Capricorn and this power theme back into Aquarius, limiting the freedom of the people. And it stayed from December 2020 till 7th of March 2023. So still a few days to go. Saturn stayed in Aquarius. Now on 7th of March, Saturn enters into Pisces. And these limiting energies will stop. Outwardly, it always takes a time. Don't expect that on 7th of March exactly every limitation falls away. But inwardly, in the thoughts, this will be felt much sooner. The reason is changes always take place first in the thought plane, then in the emotional plane, finally in the physical plane. However, we are going into a much freer period, and not just more freedom, but also more spirituality. And it will be not just the spirituality of those who are already spiritual, it will be a spirituality of the many. Many more people will now awaken to spirituality. To be precise, Saturn stays in Pisces till 25th of May 2025. So from 7th of March 23 to 25th of May 2025. Then it becomes retrograde, and don't ask me how these are astronomical phenomena that I do not fully understand myself, so I cannot tell them to you. Also, it would take much too long. But between 25th of May 2025 to 1st of September 2025, Saturn will be retrograde, and then it will enter again into Pisces from 1st of September 25 to 13th of February 26. What does that mean? With the exception of the retrograde period, Saturn will be in Pisces, and this will be an epoch-changing time. In many ways, it will manifest outwardly. Pisces means water, and we will be confronted with the theme of water, water purity, but also water in atmosphere, water in oceans. There might be floodings, there might be strong rain. There has been already the earthquake in Turkey, and in the Western media not reported another earthquake in Napier, not actually an earthquake, but a tsunami in Napier, East New Zealand. A city of 66,000 people, a lot of destruction. So we had two major destruction events in Turkey and Syria and in New Zealand. Some people say that Turkey earthquake, Syrian earthquake was activated by American weapons, ELF weapons, low frequency weapons, and that the response in New Zealand was by China, and China responded with this tsunami in Napier. We have no idea if this is true, but there was a lot going on in this time. Before now Saturn comes into Pisces, and China said in the UN that America has to be careful, and China made this offer for peace between Russia and Ukraine, that they would engage in that. But at the exactly same time, this disaster in Napier happened. So events very often are connected with each other. They don't happen in isolation. And this shows you already, because Saturn comes into Pisces, water and earth, earthquakes and tsunamis. That is just the start of it. There might be more. Of course, we hope that isn't the case, but these planetary influences are very strong. There is a lot of psychic pain in many people. The depression in many countries has never been higher than now in the last years. And this will continue because Saturn goes into Pisces, goes into the subconsciousness, and all the pain, all the worries, all the fears of the people are being tested by this examining character of Saturn, by this disciplining character of Saturn, and also taking us to responsibility. Because we are all involved. We all make up mankind. Each of us contributes a little bit. Even if you say, other people may say, oh, I'm just a single person, I'm just a woman, I'm just a man, what can I do? Well, mankind as a whole adds up to the energies that we are all experiencing. And this is why such stronger outer events can take place. That's the tough period, the tough outer experiences that can happen. But whenever people are in pain, whenever people are suffering, they are looking for peace and they are looking for more spirituality. And you can see these heavier events as something that activates a strong hunger for peace in many people, also ending the war, and a strong hunger for spiritual insights. There will be much more subtle perceptions coming. As I said, many people will awaken to spirituality who are not yet spiritual. There will be a stronger connection to the heart, and you participating in the Essential Holy Nights year, as I said before, open your heart. This is the perfect timing. March of the Holy Nights year comes perfectly for this situation, to focus on the heart. People will think more about their meaning of life. People will think more about their purpose and will think more about their spirituality. Those who are already spiritual will, in this period till February 2026, achieve more mastery in spiritual fields. Those who are already spiritual will achieve more mastery. Also, it's a period of creation, out of the dark waters, out of the subconscious, out of the unknown. Pisces also stands for the unknown. So new realities will be created and there will be initiations. People will understand more. New doors, new portals will be opened. And actually, this time now, from 7th of March 2023 till 13th of February 2026 is only the beginning of a 29.5-year long cycle where mankind will become more spiritual and where many people will become spiritual, where people will get a better connection to their soul, to their heart, and where also the communication. Right now I'm speaking to you and some of you are in Australia, in Southeast Asia, in America, in Europe. We are having live conversations nowadays all around the planet, and this has never been so before. So this wisdom and these spiritual themes will be exchanged much, much more. Lois Selman, hello, welcome. This explanation of Saturn into Pisces exactly describes Lois's dream last night and the openness and fullness she felt this morning as this wonderful, new, expansive inner energy, outer joy. And fantastic, you have birthday on the 13th of March. Beautiful, beautiful. Congratulations, Lois. Pisces-born people are often very spiritual, have very deep inner treasures. So in this period, in these 29.5 years, and actually that goes till 2052, we are speaking about a time that starts now and goes till 2052. That means some of us may not even be in our body anymore at this time, 2052, and who knows, maybe we all will be still in the body. But the interesting thing I'm referring to now, Saturn in Pisces, also has to do with death and with looking at death and with looking at your own mortality, and we will get a more spiritual understanding of death and the fear of death and the fear of the unknown will evolve. That means we will reach a higher level of awareness as opposed to that fear of dying, that fear of the unknown. We will be more at peace with death. As I said, this period will bring light into darkness. In the person, in the single person, it's the unconscious, the subconscious, the shadows, the hidden things, the hidden themes. What is it in mankind as a whole? What are there, the dark chambers, the hidden secrets, the power holders, the influencers, the lobbies, those who stand behind the politicians? A lot of these things will now come into the open. What does that all mean? It is a time in general to go more to the inside and to connect to your inner voice, to connect to your inner truth, to really follow your inner voice. This is why Open Your Heart is perfect. Although it comes every Holy Nights here in March, the theme of opening your heart, but this year it's especially poignant. And it is also time to isolate or dissociate, better to say, yourself from the negativity that goes on in the world. So step back from the negativity that goes on in the world. Especially be careful with manipulation of information, what the mass media brings us, for example, what authorities bring us. It is a time for mankind to grow up a little more, to become more a grown-up in the spiritual sense. So this is the main meaning of the period that starts on 7th of March 2023, Saturn entering into Pisces. An immediate effect till 13th of February 2026 and an overall effect till 2052. 13th of March till 18th of March, tension will be building. Why? Because we have Sun, Neptune and Mercury standing very closely together, nearly in a conjunction, in Pisces. And that has to do with spirituality. Although Neptune has some weirder parts, on the one hand transcendent parts, on the other hand extreme aspects, and by itself it would be a very good sign to have Sun, Neptune and Mercury conjunct. However, this happens in a it's called in a square, squaring Mars in Gemini. And Mars in Gemini, Mars, the power of war, on the negative side, on the positive side, the action power, the executive power. In Pisces, and Pisces, you know, there's two of them, a dark and a bright twin. And this brought out a lot of duality and a lot of force and warlike. And war is not only people being killed, war can be also economic war. War can be actually even electro war, electrosmog war against human beings. There's many things associated with that. And that is right now, in this time from 13th of March till 18th of March, squared to this strong conjunction or close conjunction of Sun, Mercury and Neptune. Not conjunction, but close to a conjunction. They stand very tightly together. Now, Mars in Gemini has started already last July, and it's very rare that Mars, because it's an inner planet and it rotates rather quickly, that it has stayed so long in Gemini. And so everything that's been going on since last July until now has been under this influence. And this is like the crescendo, 13th of March to 18th of March. Luckily, it comes to an end on 25th of March, when Mars moves on to Cancer. And then this manipulation in media, in communication, this unrest in thoughts. Many people were worried in this whole time, starting June, July 2022. This will come to an end when in 25th of March, Mars enters into Gemini. Unfortunately, here it will stay only for a few weeks before it moves on, which is crazy because it stayed for months in Gemini and now it will stay for a relatively short period in Cancer. But Mars in Cancer is always softened. Cancer pacifies and softens the impact of Mars. On the other hand, it gives you executive energy, it gives you dynamic energy to do things. You will have, starting on 25th of March, more power to do things for your home, for your apartment, for your house, for your family, for your garden. So if you have projects regarding your house, your family, your garden, then from 25th of March, you will have more energy to do these things. Now let's go back. I jumped from 13th to 18th of March to 25th of March to tell you, luckily, this Mars in Gemini is coming to an end. But before that, important things happen. 20th to 21st of March in Asia, on 21st of March in Central Europe, late in the evening. What is it? You can see it here, 9:24 p.m. UTC in England, 10:24 p.m. in Central Europe, like in Germany where I am, and in America, in the Americas, it will be in the afternoon of 20th of March. We have the spring equinox, the vernal equinox, Ostara, how it is called by the Celts, and this is a main event because now astrologically the new year starts and now the light becomes longer than the darkness. On spring equinox, as you know, day and night have exactly the same length, and then we go into this beautiful time of 3 months where the light becomes always stronger all the time to summer solstice. And this time, 20th of March, in the afternoon in the Americas, in the evening, late evening in Europe, and in the early morning in Australia, in Japan, in Korea, in Taiwan, in Hong Kong, in Southeast Asia also, of course. This is for the Northern Hemisphere, of course, important event. By the way, Southern Hemisphere, it's exactly the other way around. It's basically the autumn equinox that takes place, and the darkness becomes longer starting on 21st of March. And now at the same time, there is a new moon. And I told you in another live stream already that now for 5 times we had the new moon in exactly 1 degree of the sign into which it enters. And that's very rare. And now these were 5 in a row, starting November, December, January, February, and now 21st of March, new moon in 1 degree Aries. In a sextile to Pluto, Pluto the planet of transformation. And this is now a fulfillment 5 times in a row, it means something new, something very powerful is starting. 1 degree of the next sign is always a moment of creation. Because this has happened now 5 times in a row, that the new moon happened exactly in 1 degree of its new sign. This is new creation. There will be a lot of new things coming up, and also for you, for me, for all of us, a great time to create new things in our life. It is a cosmic moment of creation, the 21st of March. And again, this is only the preparation for the second big event of March. I told you already the first big event, that was 7th of March, Saturn going into Pisces. And now 23rd of March, we have Pluto entering into Aquarius. Pluto, the planet of transformation, the planet of plutonium, the planet of nuclear power, the planet of plutonic powers. Pluto, the god of the underworld, enters into Aquarius, and this is now the last planet that enters into Aquarius, which is this new age into which we have gone since 2020. Now finally, 23rd of March, we are fully in the age of Aquarius, and that is freedom, outer freedom, spiritual freedom, mental freedom, and that has to do with a lot of communication, a lot of ideas, a lot of inventions. It will be a period of amazing inventions. We are entering a new period of amazing inventions. If you say, oh, Aditya, already so many new things have been created in the last 20 years. I don't recognize the world anymore. Remember, 2007 was the first iPhone, the first smartphone of its kind. Imagine, that's just 2007. What has changed since then? But even this is just a little overture, I would call it, an overture to what is coming now. There will be many, many new inventions all the way till 2044, 2045. And there's also a scary part, and that is AI, artificial intelligence, which will enter the singularity, technological singularity in 2044, 2045. At that time, the machines will have more creation power, more invention power than the human beings. So basically, this period that starts now on 23rd of March with Pluto entering into Aquarius will change everything. And it remains to be seen how this power of the AI, which will be complete on 2044, 2045, will affect humanity. Will it be peaceful and positive, or could it be scary? What am I telling you here? On the other side, we have this spiritual time. We are entering now, people becoming much more connected to their spirituality, and I see this as the counter movement. This strong spiritual development that is a necessary movement towards the upcoming of the AI. So 23rd of March, Pluto entering into Aries, opening with its plutonic power, all the freedom, all the communication, all the inventions, in a positive and in a negative way, that are associated with Aquarius and with Uranus. The planet of Aquarius is Uranus with its Uranic powers. Pluto, plutonium. Uranus, urane. Two extremely important elements that already indicate you what's coming together in this time from 23rd of March 2023, March 23, till 2044. And we are going into a bigger mind freedom, thought freedom, spiritual freedom, outer freedom. But then Pluto becomes for a while retrograde and enters again into Capricorn, the old system, the power holders, politics. And that will be in the second half of 2023. And then again, Pluto will be fully in Aquarius. And this is a change of epochs. There will be real uprisals. There may be revolutionary developments. And definitely in the life of the single person, there will be a lot of transformation, starting with 23rd of March. Actually, not just transformation, but biggest possible transformation will happen. As I said, Pluto, plutonium, the god of the underworld, die and become is his message. Die and become. Remember what I told you about Saturn in Pisces, and that we become more aware and more spiritually aware of death. Now this is also even stronger, brought into focus by Pluto in Aquarius. And Uranus, Uranium is in charge of energies, in charge of electricity. So the whole thing with electric vehicles, the whole thing with electricity, solar panels, and in the human being, the nerve system corresponds to Uranus. There will be a strong focus in this period on electrification, electric vehicles, solar panels, and there will be much, much more electricity in the air, which means also the negative side, electrosmog, will increase, and we will have to protect ourselves against electrosmog. And also Pluto in Aquarius, Pluto in the sign of Uranus, means that the nerve system will be overcharged. Our nerve systems will be overflooded. Which means meditate, meditate, meditate. Use the oils, anoint yourself every day. Do grounding exercises. For example, the Zhan exercises. Today I will also show you the exercise Hang Po. Hang Po is the tree in spring. So far, and I hope you have done it, we practice Mai Po, or Mai Po is the tree in, let me see, no, Mo Ge in Mandarin. Those of you who understand, hopefully, my language, Mo Ge is the tree in winter. This is how the position is called. This is what you have been hopefully doing since January. And now from 20th of March, we are entering into spring, and we add another exercise in these Zhan exercises. Altogether, there are 5, 1 in winter, 1 in spring, 2 in summer, and 1 for autumn. And in spring now, we add to the Mo Ge exercise, we add the Tang Po exercise, the tree in spring, and I really recommend that you do it, because it will help you, it will shield you against this overcharging of the nervous system that is going to happen more and more. And that goes on till 2044. That means we all have to connect more to Earth on the one hand and to the spirituality on the other hand. Now, what else is going to happen? As I said, electrification. Right now, politicians try to decide that only electric vehicles will be allowed from 2035 onwards, which is quite crazy if you think of it, that electric vehicles create even more toxins with the whole battery and all the other rare minerals that are needed than fossil fuel driven cars. That's a fact. And luckily this fact also comes now out more into the open. Now we have not only this Uranus electricity, but of course Pluto. And Pluto stands for fusion and fission. And we may end on the positive side with hydrogen engines, which would be much more environmental friendly, give much more power for much less money, and then this whole energy crisis that we are in right now will end. But this is exactly also what is happening now, this energy crisis and this change in the use of energies. This will happen all the way till 2044, and then we'll be mostly using different form of energies than right now. That's a big transformation. That's an epochal change. I said already, technological singularity in 2044, 2045. The inventions of machines will overcome in genius, in expertise, the inventions of human beings, and it will be seen how that plays out. With all that said, 2023, 2024 are decisive years. Now we are really formatizing ourselves, calibrating ourselves for what is to come. And in this time, 2023, 2024, March 2023, right this month, stands out. 2 epochal changes, 7th of March, Saturn into Pisces, and 23rd of March, Pluto into Aquarius. As I said, 25th of March, Mars leaves Gemini finally, and goes into Cancer, time to care for your home. 28th of March, we have a conjunction Mercury-Jupiter. Mercury, thoughts, Jupiter, luck, blessings. What does it mean? 28th of March, positive thoughts, new projects, positive ideas. Whatever you start doing will be blessed. And 30th of March, Venus will be entering into Taurus. And Venus is actually the planet of Taurus, so it will enter into its own sign. And that means we end the month like we started the month, with strong love, positive love. I remind you, on 2nd of March exactly, the time from 1st to 3rd of March, in a broader sense, we had this conjunction of Venus and Jupiter, and now we have on the 30th of March Venus entering into Taurus. And this will be strong love, and also it will be good for our material abundance. It will be a good time for your business and money-making activities. Now, time to breathe. This is a lot, and it's important information. That's why I gave it to you. However you deal with it is your responsibility. Remember, Saturn puts us into self-responsibility and takes us into responsibility if we so far have avoided the responsibility. I see another question. Is the second moon in March a blue moon? Does it mean anything? Yes, it means something for the mass media. We have by now strawberry moon, blue moon, blood moon, super moons, micro moons, and throughout the essential holy night years, you've heard me sometimes saying one of these fancy names of the moon. This is more for the popular media. It doesn't really mean that that is something special in comparison to what I just told you. So better focus on the things I just told you. That's like the deep look at astronomy, astrology. But if you wish, just enter into Google Blue Moon March 2023 and see what it says, and there you will find popular media saying, oh, it's a blue moon. And another time you will say, oh, it's a blood moon, or it's a strawberry moon, or this or that. So these are fancy names, and this is more for popular culture, really. However, I don't want to totally disregard this, because it creates on the positive side an interest of the many to astrology. That's the positive side. Now it becomes popularized by calling it blue moon and pink moon or whatever, and you can look up how many variations exist, and they all have a meaning, of course. However, the meaning is not as strong. There's certain full moons that are particularly strong. If that is the case, I tell you. Now this particular blue moon or the full moon in Virgo, there's nothing negative about it on the 7th of March. It brings you clarity, but the big event on the same day, 7th of March, is that Saturn enters into Pisces. This is why I talk much more about that. So thank you for that question. I don't see who posted that question, and I hope that made sense for you. These things can be easily looked up on the internet. Okay, let's have a short look into March before we go to the oils and the oil rituals that I recommend you. March is in ancient Germanic Lenz. Alles neu macht der Lenz. Everything new. March makes everything new. March creates everything anew. That is the Celtic and Germanic understanding of the month of March. Even for the Romans, really the year started on the 1st of March. In the old times, in the Roman Empire, the year started on the 1st of March. And the month March owes its name to the Campus Martius, a big field where troop exercises were held. And this is a big field that is dedicated to the Roman god of war March, and military exercises and demonstrations were held. But Mars is not only the god of war, it has to do also with the power to create, the power to do, dynamic action power, and also with the fertility of the soil, with its power and its power of pulling through. The Mars energy now awakens the land from the winter sleep. And on the plane of the human beings, now whatever you have planned in winter, whatever you have planned specifically in the 12 essential holy nights, the plans that you made, now you will come more and more into executing them, in bringing them into the open. Remember, January is strengthening your foundation, root growth. February is connecting to above and to within. But now in March, we go out into the open. And so whatever you have planned, now is the time to go out and start acting decisively. Important projects as well as personal changes that you start in the month of March are particularly blessed. Important projects as well as personal changes that you start in the month of March are particularly blessed. On 1st of March, we have another festival day of Juno. Juno Februata, you know, her main holiday or festival day is on the 14th of February, nowadays called St. Valentine's Day, but it was originally the festival day of Juno, the mother of love, the mother of sexual love, also of procreation, the time when the women in Rome brought flowers to the temple of Juno, and the time when the men brought flowers to their women in order to venerate the goddess Juno that is inside every female. So 1st of March, basically a repeat, and fits in, of course, beautifully, because on 1st of March in ancient Rome, the beginning of the year was celebrated with purification rites, and on the 1st of March then the holy fire that burned throughout the whole year was put out and then rekindled in a new and even stronger form. So 1st of March, this eternal fire, holy fire, was put out once a year on the 1st of March and then rekindled in an even stronger way. And this means new beginnings. And now finally we leave winter behind us, not just meteorologically. There's many local habits, local traditions. For example, the snow of March. has been gathered in the Germanic countries, put in a bottle, and then warmed with a candle. If new snow fell, then that snow put in a bottle, then warmed with a candle, a white candle that is, and that would be put close to the door in a dark place and should stay there for the whole year. Then it would, this magical March snow, March water would protect the house and keep purity in the house, pure energies in the house. In German traditions, March is also regarded as a perfect time for healing and getting ingredients from nature for healing. And the particular tree the Germans had is, and I'll look it up for you, is the ash tree, and they used the bark, the old Germans. And in Bulgaria you have the tradition of the Martenica. Martenica, again with Mars, with March. It would be like a string out of cloth with a white and a red thread. The white thread representing the male energy, the young energy, and the red thread representing the female energy, the yin energy. And on the 1st of March in Bulgaria, I was also wearing a Martenica for years, because I've been often traveling to Bulgaria in this time. And then you wear it like a ring, like an arm ring. And when you see the first blossoming flowers on a tree or on a bush, then you would hang the Martenica there, and you would be assured to be well connected with the health energies of nature. Now, 1st of March, I told you already, festival day of Juno, and beginning of the year, the holy fire put out, the holy fire rekindled. 3rd of March is the magical 3. This is in magic. The number 3, the power of 3, is regarded as very important. And this is the 3rd day of the 3rd month. Also in numerology important, because the Trinity, the power of 3, is very prominent. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, God Father, God Son, God the Holy Spirit, body, soul, spirit, also father, mother, and then the child. The triangle or the power of 3 often reappears, and also the moon goddess has been in old times worshipped on the 3rd of March in its 3 forms. And the 3 forms of the moon are the waxing moon. The waxing moon is the young girl, the young woman, the virgin. The new moon, of course, is birth, but the waxing moon is then the young woman. The full moon is the mother, the fully blown woman, and the waning moon is the woman becoming older and leading to death. So at new moon again, death, and then rebirth. And there is some cults, some traditions where the moon was particularly venerated, and this was always female spirituality with a lot of meaning in it and a lot of power. The moon has power over all of us. And that they also have the 3rd of March as the special festival day. It is said that this day, 3rd of March, which is, if you're watching live, exactly today, an ideal day for all kinds of rituals and magic and incantations and invocations. You can get the 3 times energy on this day than on normal days. On the 3rd of March, you can get the triple energy than on normal days. Then we have, of course, Aphrodite, Greek goddess of love on the 9th of March. And Aphrodite represents basically Venus in the Roman pantheon. However, Aphrodite has also certain similarities with Juno as the mother or the goddess of procreation and of fertility. And you see, all these goddesses now in March, they have their festival days. So 9th of March, Aphrodite and Venus slash Juno. 19th of March, Minerva. Minerva, I'm not sure exactly how it's pronounced in English. In ancient Latin, it's called Minerva. And Minerva or Minerva is the goddess of always looking at my materials. It's always a lot of stuff that I present to you. So Minerva has to do with war. She is the goddess of war, but of the defensive war. And it's quite interesting that she comes in March, because March is Mars. And Mars is the god of aggressive war, of attacking war. Minerva is more the female side of war, the defensive war. And she is quite important because she stands together with Jupiter and with Venus. And she's not a patron of violence as Mars, but as I said, rather female, cunning, strategic, wise. And she was equated with Pallas Athena in the Greek pantheon. And as I said, she was one of the triad in Rome together with Jupiter and Juno. Jupiter, Juno, and Minerva. Now, later she got a broader responsibility, not just as the goddess of strategic war or defensive war, but she was the virgin goddess of music, of poetry, of medicine, of wisdom, of commerce, of weaving, and of the crafts. So craftsmen, for a long time, for centuries, Minerva, 19th of March, was an important holiday. At least in medieval Europe, and of course before that in ancient Rome. So Minerva, the owl of Minerva, the sacred animal of Minerva is the owl. Owl as an animal of wisdom. Virgin goddess, music, poetry, medicine, wisdom, commerce, weaving, and the crafts. Very, very interesting goddess if you are active in any of these fields of activity. 19th of March. And 25th of March, Mati. Mati, a Slavic goddess, a Slavic female goddess. Mati, the earth goddess of the Slavs. And Slavs means Czech, Polish, Slovak, Ukrainian, Russian, Bulgarian, and some smaller groups. And I look at her a little deeper because she's quite interesting. In the Slavic countries, the earth itself, the soil itself, is regarded as holy, and the goddess is Mati. Till 25th of March, Mati is regarded as being pregnant, and you should not disturb a pregnant woman. This is why in the Slavic countries, till 25th of March, the farm workers would not go out into the fields and disturb the earth, disturb the soil. Plow the soil was totally forbidden. That was allowed only from 26th of March onwards. And on 26th of March, the farmers, the field workers would go again on the fields, would start plowing and weeding and sowing. And now the earth, starting March 26th, is ready again with taking the new seeds. And this is again, together with what I told you before, a perfect time to go now out into the open and decisively start your projects. They had quite a few of oracles. They put a hole in the earth and were listening with the ear what sounds they would hear. And if they would hear like a sound of a sledge that was very heavy, then it would promise a good harvest. And if they would hear the sound of a sledge that is very shaky and weak and nearly breaking, then it would predict a not so good year. Now, what is more important than this earth whole listening tradition is something that is quite interesting. And to understand what I mean with this is, how many months are there from March 25th to December 25th? How many months from March 25th till December 25th? Please write your result in the chat. How many months from March 25th, the day of Mati, the earth goddess, to December 25th? How many months? Okay, you guessed it, or you calculated it. 9 months exactly. Beautiful. What takes 9 months? And exactly what the Slavic have the day of Mati, the Great Mother. The Christians, the Catholic Church in particular, who has to put their holidays always on more ancient holidays as a strategy of cultural subjugation, you could say. They took that day as Annunciation Day, Feast of the Annunciation, also Lady Day. What is that? The Archangel Gabriel appears to the Virgin Mary and announces that she will bear a divine child, a son. Interesting thing about that, if you read it in the Bible, Mary was agreeing to that. Mary was agreeing to that announcement, to that annunciation. She was receiving it. And finally, of course, 9 months later, Jesus was born. And now that gives you a very good picture of the importance of what starts now on 25th of March. And that carries us all the way to the end of the year, to the divine birth. And by the way, to the next Holy Nights. So that is quite significant, and the Slavs, they attributed it to Mati. And what does it mean? It means that you venerate the mother, you worship the divine goddess in whatever form. If you're Christian, in the form of Mother Mary. Now my script disappeared totally. Sometimes that happens on a computer. Give me a moment. Okay, here we are. Mati Sira Semla, Matka, Mat Semlia, Mati Sira Semlia. That was a prayer that was done by the old Slavs. There is this ancient mother of Dolní Věstonice in Moravia, in Morava. It's like Czech, Morava, and Slovakia. And in Dolní Věstonice there has been found this figure of an ancient mother, approximately 26,000 years old. And this ancient mother of Dolní Věstonice is regarded as the first sculpture that has been preserved since 26,000 years of Mati, the earth goddess. So she has been venerated for a long time. The interesting thing about that mother of Dolní Věstonice, Matka Semlia or Mati Sira Semla, in the different Slavic languages is she's crying. She's crying her eyes out. And the tears that come from the eyes of that ancient mother bless the earth and make the earth fertile. And the eyes are like a divine spring, like a divine source. And that's quite interesting. The eyes as a source for blessings, the eyes as a source of life through tears. Now, in the mystic traditions of the Slavic people, this goddess, Mati, Sira, Semla, has also been brought into contact with clairvoyance, as well as with supernatural seeing. Therefore, Mati is also called the all-seeing, like the all-seeing eye of the Egyptians. Mati is the personification of the old earth. She goes back 26,000, 30,000 years. One of the oldest forms. There's also one Venus that has been found, the Venus of Willendorf, if you have heard of it. And that's also very, very ancient divine goddess sculpture. And Mati carries the wisdom of all ages, and signs that the earth gives are often interpreted as an oracle. That was it from the point of view of the whole festival days. So before I gave you this outlook, astrological outlook for March 2023, and now this was the historical and cultural part. Now I'm sure you can't wait for it. We are going to the oil applications. Open your heart is the theme. I recommend you for the morning to use jasmine and rose on your heart. Use joy throughout the day and use geranium and Ylang Ylang in the evening. Let's start. If you have jasmine ready, you may remember from the third holy night, from 27th of December, third holy night, which connects to March. Now we are in March. What have you written down in your holy night journal? What are your plans for March? Now you can look back into your holy night journal. And you take jasmine, and by the way, this is an absolutum. It's not steam distilled, and it's exceedingly sweet. Some people can't bear the quality of jasmine. It's too pure for them. Please take the jasmine, activate it, and apply it on your heart chakra that is in the center of your chest. Apply a little bit on the tip of your nose and apply some of it on your crown chakra, the inner ring of the crown chakra. As you know, we have here like a second heart that opens to above, and the main heart in the center of the chest. And this is for purity heart. This is for purifying your heart. Now you can inhale jasmine from your hands, or you can inhale jasmine from the bottle for 3 to 5 minutes. Or you can imagine that you're breathing in and out through the heart center, through the center of your chest. And you do this, please, the whole month of March. Every morning you apply jasmine on your heart center. This will be an enormous head start for you for going out into the open, because many people's hearts are covered with old emotions, covered with some impure energies, covered with the emotional energies of others. Some people even have trouble breathing because of these emotional energies that cover their heart. And this is now again spring going out into the open, opening your heart, the best thing you can do is make March a purity heart month. Purity heart. So that your heart can fully blossom, can fully open. And you do that with Jasmine. You do that with breathing in and out through your heart center. And you do that with inhaling Jasmine from the bottle or from your hands. And you notice the sweetness, extreme sweetness of the jasmine. As I said, for some people it's too much. If you cannot bear the sweetness of jasmine, that means that you have some coverings on your heart, that there is something that closes your heart. If your heart is wide open, then the sweetness, the extreme sweetness of jasmine will be no problem for you. Feel when you're inhaling from the bottle or your hands, how you're still inhaling and exhaling through your heart center. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Says Jesus Christ, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Now again, we spoke about the eyes of Mati, the all-seeing mother, and the tears that flow from her eyes and make the ground fertile. And now here we have, if you are pure in heart, you shall see God. If your heart is pure, you shall see God. It reminds us of Antoine de Saint-Exupéry, The Little Prince, in which he says, you can see much better with the eyes of the heart. You can see much better with the eyes of the heart. So this is what this exercise or ritual with jasmine is there for, to purify your heart, but also to open your eyes. Open your heart and you open your eyes, your true eyes. This is the first part of the oil ritual for March. 3 to 5 minutes with jasmine. Then you go to rose. And also with rose, take a drop, and I know this is quite expensive stuff. Jasmine over $100, rose nearly $250. So these two bottles is like $350 US. So that's no small investment. However, if you experience once what it brings you to do this throughout the whole month of March, every morning 1 drop of jasmine and every morning 1 drop of rose, then you will agree it's a great investment, and it's an investment that gives you back manyfold, that gives you back many times, 10 times, 100 times. So please apply now rose on your heart center. And this is of course divine love, Damascene rose or Rosa Otto. Apply a little bit on your nose tip, and also please apply a little of Rosa Damascena, the ancient rose, on the crown, on the inner crown, the heart that connects to the divine love. We have 2 hearts, one here and one here in the inner ring of the crown chakra. And now let the rose and the love energy work on you. Again, you may inhale rose scent from your hands, or you may do it from the rose bottle. And feel how from above God's love enters into you, pours into you, and in your heart you have like collecting all the love. You collect all the love in your heart, in the center of your chest, but you receive a lot of divine love from above, through the inner ring of your crown chakra. And if you've done jasmine before to purify your heart, then the experience of rose will be even much stronger, and you will experience this divine love in a much more impactful way. And you do that also every morning for 3 to 5 minutes. And you have a fantastic start to the day. Now, after Jasmine and Rose, you could do the Zhan exercise, standing like a tree in winter and then in spring. I show this a little bit later because for some people, they do the Zhan exercises in the morning right after the oil ritual. Some people do it in the evening, before the evening oil ritual. And some people do the Zhan, the standing like a tree exercises in the morning and in the evening, which is of course the best solution and will do a lot for you, as you will feel in a few moments when I do this exercise with you. But now during the day you use joy, and joy has rose, has jasmine, also contains geranium and ylang ylang, as well as Roman chamomile, palmarosa, which is a grass oil. Even if it's called something like rose and it smells like rose oil, it's a giant grass palmarosa, like citronella, like vetiver, for example. And in joy also included are bergamot and lemon and tangerine. So a very, very happy blend, which was originally 1991 when Gary Young first formulated it. It was called Love. But in 93, Love oil blend became Joy oil blend because some people got wrong ideas about an oil called Love, and then Gary Young renamed it into Joy. You can smell it from the bottle, and with Joy I can recommend you, it's a perfect chakra oil. You can not only use it for your heart, you can use Joy for all your 7 chakras. Also a wonderful skin oil. By the way, all these oils that we're talking about now are fantastic skin oils. All the blossom oils like jasmine, like rose, like geranium, like ylang ylang, they are like first category in terms of how helpful they are for the skin. So now you may have applied joy to all your 7 chakras, and you will immediately feel how your energy flows better if you have done that. And brings not only energy flow and a lot of joy, makes you also magnetic. Joy, like abundance oil blend, these are the 2 oil blends that make you the most magnetic. If you wish to be magnetic, use joy or use abundance. As always, you may apply joy also to any other spot where you feel you would like these effects. And just listen to your body and then inhale it. But the main use of joy throughout March, besides applying it on the 7 chakras every day, would be that you diffuse it. Diffuse joy every day in your favorite diffuser. You will have a fantastic experience. It will bring really the joy of nature awakening, going out into visibility, opening your heart, starting your projects in a decisive way. Now you really bring the year on its path. This is extremely important. You bring the year on its path. This is now after the preparation of the 312 Holy Nights, after the January, after the February, now March, we really go out. Okay, and now you've done the day and enjoyed joy, and now we're in the evening. And this is now the 2nd time where you can do the Zhan exercise, which I'll show you in a minute. Zhan in spring, the tree standing like a tree in spring, which is called Hangpo. And you still continue doing the tree in winter. Basically, in winter you do only the tree in winter. In spring you do the tree in winter, Moge, and the tree in spring, Tangpo. Then in summer, you do the tree in winter, the tree in spring, and the tree in summer, and it's two positions. So it's building up. And finally, in autumn, you do the tree in winter, the tree in spring, the two positions of the tree in summer, and the tree in autumn. Then you have 5 exercises, and you will notice, wow, I've become so much stronger. Energy flows through my meridians in much better way. My chi is much stronger and fresher, and I stand much more firmly. And this is something, this standing like a tree, which I highly recommend you, especially for this time that we are entering now in March 2023, because as I said, 7th of March starts a period that goes all the way till 2052, and 23 of March starts a period, Pluto in Aquarius, which goes all the way to 2044. And being in the heart and anointing and being grounded, these are very important helps for this coming age, and we can really speak of a new epoch that we are entering, a new age. What will be very helpful in this age, an epoch that is starting now, is geranium. We talked about geranium already on 27th of December, and it's the perfect oil for overcoming your likes and dislikes. It's the oil that helps you to overcome judgmentalness. It's the oil that helps you overcome likes, dislikes, sympathies, antipathies, judgments, and dualism. It's the ideal oil that helps you to overcome either or. Either or. Either or either or is pure dualism, either this or that. You cannot have both. Monism or holism would be as well as. Holism would be as well as. But dualism is either this or that. And this I like and this I don't like. And this is of God and this is of the devil. And we are of the right faith and you are heathens, you will burn in hell. Judgmentalness in whatever form. In that sense, geranium will be a very important oil to help you overcome dualism, to help you overcome judgmentalness, to help you overcome your own idiosyncrasies, likes and dislikes, which actually split you yourself in half, because some people say, oh, this I like in myself and this I hate in myself. Well, that's also dualism. You cannot cut yourself into 2 pieces. You have to love yourself totally and wholly. So overcome dualism, overcome your allergies, your psychological allergies, overcome your attachments. So positive likes are in fact very often attachments. And negative dislikes are what I call psychological allergies. Both belong to life. Your likes and your dislikes both happen. So overcome your attachments, overcome your allergies. Become holistic. Enter into the as well as position. And for that, geranium is fantastic. It's a fantastic skin oil. For overcoming judgmentalness and dualism, it is excellent to be put on your heart. And also, as I discovered recently, on your Manipura chakra, on your solar plexus chakra. Because very often when we are judgmental, when we are in our likes and dislikes, that's also in our navel, in our 3rd chakra or Manipura chakra. Recommendation for geranium, put it on your heart and put it above your physical navel. And then look at your likes and your dislikes on people you love, on people you hate. Look on yourself, what you love about yourself, what you hate about yourself, with equanimity. And inhale geranium. And this will bring you into a much more balanced position. And of course, I said it's an excellent skin oil. You can apply it all over your facial skin. Don't forget your throat, your neck. If you do that for the whole month of March, and I recommend Geranium for the evening. You'll look fantastic by the end of March. You'll have such a beaming skin, facial skin. But the main reason why I recommend it is to overcome your dualisms, your judgment. 3 to 5 minutes in the evening after the Zhan exercise. And then Ylang Ylang. As Geranium helps you to overcome dualism, Ylang Ylang helps you to balance polarity. Now, dualism is something unnatural. We cut with our mind what is one into pieces. However, polarity is something natural. Male, female, sun, moon, light, darkness, warm, cold, and so on. So they are just opposite sides of the same spectrum, but they occur naturally. Now also in each of us we have male and female energies. We have yin and yang. And the yin-yang symbol shows you in a beautiful way how you can integrate the polarities of yin and yang. For that I recommend you to apply Ylang Ylang on your 7 chakras. Like joy during the day, you apply Ylang Ylang before you go to bed on your 7 chakras. Because you may have polarization in one or more of your chakras. This will help you tremendously. So apply Ylang Ylang on all the 7 chakras. As well as apply Ylang Ylang on any part of your body where you feel you're still strongly polarized, either yin or yang. Overloaded yin or overloaded yang. And this will help you to balance the polarities. After you've applied Ylang Ylang on your 7 chakras and any spots where you felt this overloading with one polarity, I suggest again you inhale from the bottle or you inhale from your hands, the Ylang Ylang, for 3 to 5 minutes. And of course, it's an excellent skin oil as well as all the oils I showed you today. So you can apply Ylang Ylang also all over your face, on your throat, your neck, and any other part of your skin. Ylang Ylang, by the way, was one of the favorite oils of Gary Young, together with frankincense and with spruce. Blue spruce, black spruce, both he loved. And these were the 3 oils he would always have with him: frankincense, Ylang Ylang, and blue spruce or black spruce, or both. Feel how this makes you balance your polarity. It's like magic. It brings you into perfect position to go to sleep afterwards. Again, short repetition. I recommend Jasmine and Rose in the morning, joy throughout the day, and Geranium and Ylang Ylang in the evening. But you can turn it around however you like. Please follow your intuition. I'm not your guru. You are your own guru. So follow your inner intuition. Now we come to the Zhan exercise. And you've been doing, hopefully, Zhan standing like a tree in winter. And this is basically you are standing with your feet shoulder shoulders apart, and you're a little in your knees. Your hips are tilted forward slightly, and your head, your chin is tucked in, your neck is opening, your shoulders are back, and you are hanging like on a thread which pulls you up. And your hand position in this position, the tree in winter, Moge, the hand position is either like this, sideways, besides your hips, or like this, just in front of your belly, holding the chi ball below the navel. In this position you have been hopefully doing since winter solstice or since January, because this is the position, the tree in winter, the tree that grows its roots. On 20th of March, 21st of March, we enter into spring. And now you continue to do this position, the tree in winter, but you add to it, after you've done it 5 minutes, you add to it the tree in spring. And now your arms go up. And your arms go up to the height of your shoulders. Look at the shadow on my sweatshirt. The shadow shows you that my hands, that my arms, that my elbows are on the same level as the shoulders. And this signifies now the tree in spring, Hangpo, the tree that wears flowers, the tree that lets its flowers blossom. You continue to stand in this basic position like tree in winter. That means your feet are shoulders apart. Your hips are tilted slightly forward. Your shoulders are back. Your head is held high as if you were hanging on a string that pulls you up to heaven. Your chin is tucked in slightly. And you feel how your roots grow to the earth, as in the tree in winter, your energy roots, that is. But now a part of your energy flows up to your arms, where you're now manifesting the blossoms, where you're manifesting now the flowers like a tree in spring. It's like you're holding a big basketball between your arms and your chest, and between your fingers you could put some marbles inside. So your fingers should be a little bit apart from each other, that you could put marbles between each finger. This facilitates the flow of chi also through your arms, hands and fingers. You put your tongue up to the roof of the mouth. Put your tongue up to the roof of the mouth. Breathe fully out. Exhale totally. And then let the inhalation come by itself. Exhale fully. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Inhale deeply. Feel like from your feet, ankles, calves, shins, knees, you're firmly rooted in the ground. And there's also some additional energy roots coming from your thighs and from your hips. We have talked about this in January. But now, from your hips upwards, your energy flows up into your arms and fingers. And you hold this position for 5 minutes after you have been standing already in the position, the tree in winter, for 5 minutes. 5 minutes is the minimum Chan Chong masters, they usually stand in one position for 1 hour. So that's far too long for most beginners. But you can imagine the power and the great chi flow such a master has when he can stand in each of the 5 positions for 1 hour. If you get pain in some parts, the pain indicates that your energy does not flow perfectly in these parts. The chi does not flow perfectly. That can be also in your joints, that the energy does not flow well enough through your joints. There may be some other ruptures. If you do this every day, especially if you do this every morning and every evening, then this pain will quickly disappear. It's a fantastic exercise for your energetic health. If you feel sweat coming, sweat indicates that you are throwing out toxins with your sweat. And the peculiarity of sweating with Chan Chong exercise is really that you may sweat in certain areas, and 1 inch further on your skin there is no sweat at all. That indicates that certain areas are purified. Toxins are being excreted through the sweat. Another thing that can happen is that you can get hot in certain parts. If you get hot, let's say in your thighs or in your shoulders, that is an indication that there is a block of energy, so the energy gets jammed basically, and there it stays and it becomes really hot. If you are without energy blocks, then you will not get hot, but you will get a gentle warmth all over your body. So the hotness in certain areas indicates blocks, energy blocks. Remember, your tongue is up to the roof of the mouth. Remember, you're exhaling fully and you're inhaling deeply. You're slightly in your knees, your hips are skipped forward. And if you have a shaking, let's say your thighs shake or your knees shake or your arms start shaking, this shows that some of your energy channels are incomplete. And then, like an electric fire has to jump over a distance, so your chi has to jump from where the vessel is still good through the rupture to where the vessel is good again. And that jumping of chi or energy, that creates a shaking motion. Once your meridians, your energy vessels are reconstructed, there will be no shaking. Even if you stand for much longer than 5 minutes. So if you're intermediate, you can do the exercise. Instead of 5 minutes tree in winter, 5 minutes tree in spring, you can do it 15 minutes tree in winter and 15 minutes tree in spring. And that adds up, because as I said, in the end, you have then the 2 additional positions, the tree in summer and 1 additional position, the tree in autumn. So altogether it's 5 positions. And if you do it 5 minutes, then you end up in autumn with 25 minutes. And if you do it 15 minutes each, then it's 1 hour, 15 minutes. And that's already quite good. So I promise you, you will feel fantastic. You will be in a much better condition come autumn. But that's nothing compared to Chan Chong masters. They stand 1 hour each, like 5 hours. And I heard some people watch television standing in Chan Chong exercise. Well, I don't like television so much, so I'm not watching television. Standing in these tree in winter, tree in spring, tree in summer, tree in autumn positions. But there is some things you can do if you get bored in your brain, bored in your thoughts. However, much better you use your awareness, you use your thoughts during the exercise to focus internally. Because there's higher planes of Zhan Zhang exercise that has to do with your crown and the crowns of trees. You can do this exercise powerfully with trees, with very old trees. Can circulate energy between yourself and a tree that is huge and very old. And you can also exchange energy through your roots and the roots of the tree under earth, so you can create real circuits of energy with trees, and some masters, they do it with whole forests. Why am I telling you this? I know you're a beginner in Zhan Zhang, so this comes later, once you have mastered the physical exercise. But I'm saying this because watching television doesn't make sense if you can make energy circuits with trees, with whole forests, and eventually with the energy field of Mother Earth herself. It's much too exciting, it's much too fulfilling, so you won't have to do something else. Okay, so I hope some of you, if not all of you, are doing the Zhan Zhang exercises. Finally, I will keep this short because today you had an extra, because this March is an epochal month. A new epoch is starting, a new era is starting, 7th of March, Saturn in Pisces, starting a cycle that goes all the way till 2052, with immediate effects for the next 3 years till February 2026, Saturn in Pisces. And 23rd of March, Pluto in Aquarius, starting a cycle that goes all the way till 2044, when possibly this technological singularity is happening. Yes, and I love it. The tree that wears flowers, this is the beautiful name. Thank you very much. And still, now is March. So script, design, and manifest this month in the 7 key areas of your life. The theme of March is open your heart. Open your heart, looking at your physical life. Physical life, your body, your health. Physical life, your housing, your residence. Physical life, your vehicles. Physical life, your technical apparatus, your technical helpers, and physical also, how the way you dress, the shoes, the accessoires. What do these fields of physical life mean if you look at it with an open heart? What can you learn? What can you change? Emotional. Look at your emotions and your emotional goals in March from the point of view of an open heart, of a pure heart. Pure heart, and then open heart full of love. Mental. What thoughts do you have when your heart is open? What thoughts do you have if you have a pure heart and if you have a heart full of divine love? In your social field, what are your projects socially in the month of March, in your family, among your friends, in your network, in any size of social unit, if you approach your social dimension with an open heart? Financial. What are your financial goals for March? And with this, I don't just mean numerical goals and time goals. I mean, in this case, really to let it flow, to open your heart, to give with an open heart and to receive with an open heart. You will notice if you deal with your money with an open heart instead of a closed heart, will be much easier for you to give, will be much easier for you to receive. So give and take, financial energy wishes to flow, and it flows much better if you have an open heart. And by the way, if you have an open heart, you are magnetic, and more money force will come to you. Spiritual, what happens to your spirituality if you're truly with a pure heart, with an open heart, with a loving heart? Speaking about judgment, speaking about you have to do this, otherwise you will burn in hell, or this is unholy, this is of the devil. You know, all these kinds of judgments. And for those people who are still in that dualistic view, because all is of God. Everything that has been created is of God. Even Lucifer was the main angel of God. That doesn't mean you should worship Lucifer, far from it. But you should be aware it's part of the whole creation. And it's part of polarity, by the way. And polarity you can balance with Ylang Ylang. But your judgmentalness, and many religious people, many spiritual people who are also holy, they're often very judgmental. And for them, open your heart and use geranium. As Jesus said, throw not the stones, or you can throw the stones only if your own heart, if your own life is pure. You know, when the people wanted to throw stones on, I believe, Mary Magdalene. Who of you is without sin shall throw the first stone? So we should not throw stones. Even if we are spiritual, especially if we are spiritual, we should not throw stones. Put your own life in order first. And then finally, open heart and fun, joy of life, and delight of existence. How does an open heart in the month of March apply to having innocent fun like a child? And do you have regularly innocent fun? Every day, ideally. How is your joy of life? And do you experience the delight of existence by following your purpose at every moment, by being totally flooded with the delight because you're fulfilling your divine mission? All these 7 areas will be greatly helped by the exercises I showed you and by this strategy of open your heart. And I remind you, how can I feel my heart the strongest in this moment? How can I feel my heart the strongest this very moment? How can I feel my heart the strongest right now? Have a wonderful, blessingful March 2023. When we see again, we'll be in the new epoch. 7th of March has happened. 23rd of March has happened. And I wish you a very, very transformative and blessingful month of March.